Hi everyone. In the last session, we had a code walkthrough using operators in Python. In that session, we have executed each and every operator at Python shell. In today's session, we are going to talk about the new topic called types of expressions in Python. Before moving on to the various types, first we will discuss what an expression is, or I can say we will clearly distinguish what is meant by the statement and expression. Expression comes under either statement or not the statement that we will see. After that, we will see what is mean by the constant expression. Next, what is mean by the arithmetic expression. After that, we will see integral expressions, floating point expressions. So let us have the fruitful discussion on this. First, let us define what is an expression is. An expression is nothing but the sequence of operators and operands. This is a simple definition we can say. We can say combination, we can say sequence, we can say collection of operators and operands. Example, at Python shell, if I say 2 plus 3, then we are going to get the result as 5. In this expression, 2 and 3, these are known as operands, and plus is nothing but the operator. If you take any other example, 2 is greater than 3. In this case, 2 is operand, 3 is also operand. The operator here it is greater than symbol. That's why I can say that an expression consists of operands and operators. Operands can be either variables or the values. Sometimes an expression may consist of parentheses like this 2 plus 3 minus 4. Here I have left parenthesis and right parenthesis. Operands may be parentheses or values, right? Or we can say the variables. In this case, the values which are available within the expression are evaluated. So here we have plus and minus. When we have more than one operator in an expression, as per the precedence of operators, the result we are going to obtain. In the previous sessions, we have discussed what is the difference between the associativity and precedence. Precedence comes to the hierarchy of operators. Here in this expression, we have plus and minus. Whether we have to perform plus first or minus first, which operator we have to evaluate first, that is defined by the precedence. See, according to the precedence or hierarchy, plus and minus are having the same priority or same hierarchy. In the sense, you can perform either plus first or minus first, no problem. But when we have equal precedence operators, simply better to evaluate the entire expression from left to right. That is determined by the associativity. When we have the operators with the same precedence, then the order in which the entire operation, or we can say the expression, is evaluated is determined by the associativity. So in this case, generally within the parenthesis, we are going to evaluate 2 plus 3 first. That means we are going to get 5. After that, 5 minus 4. Now we are going to have the discussion on constant expression. Let us take one example for this. Here, I'm taking 10 plus 20. What type of expression it is? What are the operands? 10 and 20 are the operands. What is the operator we are using? Plus. What type of operator it is? Arithmetic operator. Now, can I say this is the arithmetic expression? Yes, it is arithmetic expression. Now, why we are talking about the constant expression? What do you mean by this? It is arithmetic expression. At the same time, the operands are here constants. 10 plus 20. That's why we are specifically calling it as the constant expression. Please remember that every expression must give some result, right? If it is not giving the output or the result, then it is not an expression. For example, you have the statement x is equals to 10. When you press enter, then we are not going to get any output at the Python shell. Means it's not giving any result value or any result it is not giving. That's why it's not an expression. If I say x is equals to x plus 3, in this case x value 10 and plus 3 how much? 13. So whenever we print here x equals to x plus 3, now when you say x, now we are going to obtain the result 13. This is an expression. An ordinary statement is different from an expression. Why? Because An ordinary statement doesn't give any result, whereas the expression is evaluated and finally it gives some output. That is the difference between the statement and expression. In this case, 10 plus 20 is the arithmetic expression. At the same time, we call it as constant expression. If we take any other example, if I say A is equals to 10 and B is equals to 20, now whenever we say A plus B, and if you press enter, so here A plus B is not a constant expression. It is arithmetic expression. What is the result we are obtaining? 30. What is the difference between 10 plus 20 and A plus B? 10 plus 20 is the constant expression and this A plus B is only ordinary arithmetic expression. Constant expression here is also an arithmetic expression, special case. This is the difference between constant expression and arithmetic expression. Now let us see some more examples for arithmetic expressions. At Python shell, let us assume that A is equals to 2 and you take another variable B is equals to 3, C is equals to 4. And assume that the expression is like this: A plus B star C, multiplication symbol, A plus B star C. Now how this expression is evaluated? Before giving the direct result, internally what happens? A value becomes 2, right? A value 2 plus B value 3, multiplication operator star, and here the value is 4. In this expression, we have two operators, right? One is plus, another one is star. This is addition and this is multiplication. As per the precedence of operators, when we have plus signed multiplication symbol, the first preference will be given to multiplication operator. That means first the value is multiplied, finally the addition is performed. Now what is this? This is star. First multiplication operator is performed here. 3 into 4 how much? 12. 3 into 4, 12. After getting the result 12 here, this 12 is added to 2. That means we are going to perform addition at last. Now the final value here we are going to obtain is 14. This is how the result will be obtained, right? So this is how the expression or arithmetic expression is evaluated. Now you take another example. Let us take the example here. A is equals to 10 and you say B is equals to, what is say 20. Now if you say A by B, that means what is the value? A value 10 and what is the B value? 20. You are expecting the value as 0.5, right? The value is 0.5. Okay, whenever you press enter here, you are going to obtain the result 0.5. What type of expression it is? It is arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression. Specifically, the result we are obtaining here is 0.5. If there is only one operator, so that's why directly we are performing the division and the result we are obtaining is 0.5. There are some instances here. Assume that here I am saying A is equals to 10 and B is equals to 10.5. If I say A plus B, what is the result we are going to get? A plus B, A value 10 and B value 10.5. What is the result you are going to get? See, A 10 is integer and B is the float value. We have different objects. One is integer object, another one is floating point object. Can you add two different objects? Not to add different objects. It's not better to add the same kind of objects, right? Here A is integer object, B is a floating point object. In this case, generally what we do is, if you want to add two float type objects, then what you do is, first convert this A 10 into 10.5. See, I'm clearly explaining this. Just now I said that A value 10, B value is 10.5. Now, before directly saying A plus B, what you do is, I'm going to use type conversion float. float of 10 here I'm saying. When you say float of 10, this is converted into 10.0. That means it is the floating point object. Now after converting a into floating point object, now you can say a plus b, then a is floating point object 10.0 and b is another floating point object 10.5. The result we are going to get is 20.5. So here what we are using? We are using the concept of type conversion, explicit type conversion. By writing float, forcibly we are changing integer data type into floating point. So in this case, we call the concept as floating point. This is very, very important. Floating point expression. Floating point expression. It is arithmetic expression, but the special case of arithmetic expression that is called floating point expression, right? Like this, we have different types of expressions, integral expressions. Still now what we have discussed, arithmetic expression is nothing but the expression which consists of arithmetic operators along with operands. The special case of arithmetic expression that we have seen is the constant expression where the operands are the values. Okay. After that, we have also seen the floating point expression. What do you mean by floating point expression? Before performing any type of operation, arithmetic operation or any operation, if you convert that into the floating point object, after that, if you add any operation that is comes under floating point expression. Now, what do you mean by the integral expression? Remember here, integral expression is the expression which results an integer value. This is very, very important. Now, just now we have seen that floating point expression is the expression which results floating point value. Here the result is floating point result. Here the result is integer result. For example, in integral expression, we are taking like this: a is equals to 10 and assume that b is equals to 20 in single quotes I am mentioning. First, an integer object. This is string object. Can I say a plus b? No, we can't say a plus b here. Cannot perform this operation on a and b. Why? Because b is string, right? Before performing this arithmetic operation, now better to convert this string into integer. Why? Because in summary, still now we have discussed that an expression is the collection of operators and operands. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the constant expression? Is the expression which consists of only constants as operands, right? That we have seen that 10 plus 20. Only operands are constants. It is also arithmetic expression. Now, what is mean by an arithmetic expression? It is the expression which consists of numeric values or strings as operands. Along with, we are going to have arithmetic operators. Sometimes we can also have parentheses. Just now, we have seen some examples for arithmetic operators, but 10 plus 20, which comes under the constant expression, it is a special case of arithmetic expression that we have already seen. Now, one important thing here you should remember that there is an expression that is called integral expression, like floating point expression. Integral expression is the expression which results integer value. This is very, very important. As we discussed in the floating point expression, in floating point expression, we said that we are using type conversion concept. That means by using type conversion, we are converting an object into floating point object and we are performing the operation and the result we are going to obtain is floating point result. Similar to this, we are going to use the same type conversion in integral expression and finally we are getting the result in the form of integer. That is called integral expression. Let us see one example for this. Here we are saying a is equals to 10 and assume that b equals to 5. This is string variable, right? This is an integer object and this is the string object. Can you perform addition on this a plus b? No, we can't perform the operation on different objects. Here, what you have to do is first convert this b into integer. Here I'm writing int of b. Whenever we say int of b, this b is converted into integer. Then only you can say at Python shell a plus b. Now the result we are going to get is 15. A is an integer object. Forcibly, we have changed the string variable b into integer by converting this type operator or type conversion. This is known as the integral expression. After completing this, next we are moving on to the next concept, that is nothing but what is the difference between the statement and expression clearly. Let us discuss. Now, let us discuss the difference between the statement and expression. What is the difference? See, here I am writing like this. A is equals to 10. Next, a plus 20. This is also a statement. This is also a statement. Now I can define that the statement is the instruction given to the computer to do something. Any instruction which is given for the computer to do something, that is called the statement. If you say a equals to 10, is it performing any action? Yes. A plus 20, is it performing any action? Yes. This is also a statement and this is also a statement. But the second statement is also an expression. This is very, very important. Why? Because it evaluates the result 30 out. This is a difference between the statement and expression. After this, next we are going to talk about how to write the multi-line statements in Python. Let us discuss here. Single line statements we can write, okay, no problem. But how to write multi-line statements in Python? For example, I want to write here the statement a plus, okay, let us take another different example. Here I'm writing the statement 10 plus 20, right? I want to move on to the next line also. I want to continue to the next line also. Then what is the continuation operator you have to use? That is very, very important to implement multi-line statements. You can use the statement backslash, the symbol backslash, or you can use parenthesis, or you can use square brackets, or you can use opening brace and closing braces to represent multi-line statements in Python. 10 plus 20 here, you have set 10 plus 20. Now, if you write backslash, we are going to the next statement indicating three dots, means it is waiting for the next value and operator. Here, assume that I'm writing plus 30, plus 40. If you want to move on to the next line, again you have to write backslash. Now here, I'm writing, assume that plus 50. Here, I'm not writing any multi-line symbol backslash. Just I'm pressing enter, then the result you are going to obtain is 10 plus 20, 30, 60, 40, 150 you are going to obtain. So by using these backslash characters, we can write multiple lines. Not only this, you can also use these parentheses. How to implement these parentheses? Just at Python shell, you write left parenthesis 10 plus 20. Next line, again we are getting this 30 plus 40. Okay, next no need writing any dots here. Dots will not be displayed. So left to after writing the left parenthesis here, we are providing the values. So it is waiting for the right parenthesis. If you write the next line plus 50, here you write right parenthesis. Once you get right parenthesis, the expression is ended here and here going to get the result 150 here. So similar to the parenthesis, you can also use square brackets. You can also use opening brace and closing brace. This is a way of representing the multi-line statements in Python. Right? With this, we have completed the types of expressions. At the same time, how to represent the multi-line statements in Python. With this, we have completed the topics. Now, in the next session, we will see the remaining concepts. With this, I'm going to close the session. Thank you for watching.